Right now, a live look over Los Angeles, where a fourth day of protests is underway over immigration arrests. Within the past hour, we learned that 700 Marines are now being called in. This morning, immigrant advocacy groups, labor leaders, and other elected officials joined forces at Daley Plaza. They spoke out, calling the administration's immigration actions cruel and political theater. Our Shardaa Gray joins us from our newsroom with the latest on how many were arrested in LA over the weekend. Shardaa?
Well, Marie, we know that the 53 people were arrested over the weekend in Los Angeles. While it remains quiet there today, immigrant right leaders here in Chicago spoke out this morning against the Trump's administration immigration policies. They say it's cruelty with intent.
These actions are not about safety. They're rooted in control and racism and designed to intimidate. And I'm here today to say we will not be intimidated by your tactics.
A clear message from protesters on what they think of the Trump administration's large-scale immigration enforcement operation. Members of the Illinois Coalition for Immigrant and Refugee Rights, along with the Arab American Action Network, the Coalition for a Better Chinese American Community, labor leaders from SEIU, and others spelled out how those policies have impacted specific groups, including Black immigrants from Africa and the Caribbean islands and immigrants from China. In California, a much calmer start to the day after a weekend of clashes between demonstrators and authorities after immigration enforcement operation. President Donald Trump deployed hundreds of National Guard troops in Los Angeles without the state's request or consent.
As a result, I, in partnership with Governor Gavin Newsom, are suing President Trump and asking the court to set aside the president's unlawful action federalizing the California National Guard.
California Attorney General Rob Bonta and Governor Gavin Newsom are suing the Trump administration for deploying the National Guard, a move he calls unlawful. Back here in Chicago, just last week, heavily armed and masked federal immigration enforcement agents showed up unannounced to this intensive supervision appearance program, or ICE office, in the South Loop. Witnesses say at least 10 people were loaded into vans. It was unclear why they were detained. Governor J.B. Pritzker is responding to the deployment of the National Guard, calling it abuse of power. He says governors are the commanders-in-chief of their National Guard, and without consulting or working with the state's governors, it's ineffective and dangerous. Reporting live in the newsroom, Shardaa Gray, CBS News, Chicago. Marie.
Thank you, Shardaa.